All right. Hello. Thanks for coming on. Really appreciate it.
All right, thanks for having me. Thanks for hosting me.
Yeah, of course. So please introduce yourself and a little bit about what you do.
Yeah, so my name is Andre Gallant. I'm Atlantic Canada's IP advisor for Canada's IP office. IP stands for intellectual property, and what falls into that, people may have heard about copyright, trademarks, patents, industrial design, and trade secrets. We usually don't know what those means. So we're the office that if you want to protect your new business products, your services that you came up with, some of the science you're doing, or some of the arts you're doing. So when you're coming up with new things or new ideas, some of it you can protect. So we're the office that if you want to protect some of that, you would come to our office in Canada, and other countries have similar offices in their country.
Fantastic. That's a great little overview for our folks. There's IP is such a big thing right now, especially in Newfoundland and Labrador. It applies to so many different sectors, like you mentioned. One of the big emerging sectors right now in Newfoundland and Labrador is, of course, the tech sector. So I'm sure IP is a very valuable bit of knowledge to have when you're going into the tech sector.
Absolutely. So we see new technologies, the tech sector, artificial intelligence. So a lot of the different IP rights I mentioned earlier would potentially apply. And in some cases, you would see it apply. The five main ones would apply to the same creation. So you would see a mix, overlapping rights to protect you, more fences that would go on top. So it would impress the people you're trying to impress, business partners, funders, key employees that you're trying to retain, and then also it may discourage your competitors or people you're trying to push away from copying what you're doing, or maybe get your permission, or maybe collaborating in some cases if it makes sense. So in other industries, it's also relevant. So keep in mind that yes, the tech sector it's always good to think about IP, but any industry, you should have a conversation. And maybe at the end of the day, it could be that you're not doing as much as certain businesses, but at least you're aware why you're doing certain things and why you're not, and when you're doing it. So it's very important to keep in mind. It's for every sector.
No doubt. And we are here at the NLOWE Conference in 2024, and one of the sessions was all about IP. Can you tell us a little bit how that went?
Yeah, so we had a good presentation by two experts in IP and innovation ecosystem. So we had Dr. Jackie Bartlett, who teaches IP law in Newfoundland and Labrador, and then she has extensive experience with the private sector as well, and she even founded one of the founder for a legal clinic at Dalhousie University. So a very impressive resume. And the same with Libby Carew, who's the IP counselor with Springboard Atlantic, and also prior to Springboard, a lot of experience in the private sector and key sectors in Atlantic Canada and Newfoundland and Labrador. So, and I was able to jump in and offer some views too, because it's good to get, and like Dr. Bartlett said, like Jackie, it's good to get your perspective from different people, not only one source. Frequently, as early as possible. I talk to people in high school even, and from different sources, because there are so many rules. You need to better understand them so you can better compete with current competitors and future competitors. So you need to know as much as they know, if not more. So it's never too much to have different conversations, brainstorming. So that's something we'll discuss, we can offer at my office.
Yeah, good stuff. So if someone did want to discuss those things, how would they get in contact with you?
Well, the easiest way, different ways, it could be on LinkedIn, it could be on sending an email if you have my email, but otherwise it's www.canada.ca/IP-advisors in the plural. And then you'll get every region of the country covered. You click on Atlantic Canada, you'll see my name, photo, and a little bio. And then you click book a meeting. And then that's going to come to me. Very informal, confidential. It's free all the time. I'm not selling anything. I'm trying to educate you as I would educate a friend or a family member. And at the end of the day, you file or you don't file. There are pros and cons for everything, and there are opportunities and red flags. We try to minimize the risk of everyone learning by mistake. So we try to have conversations that are specific to you based on everything we've heard. We get about 1 million contacts per year at our office with clients from not only me, obviously, but so if we can at least say, oh, be careful with this, make sure you talk to this IP lawyer or IP agent the sooner than you thought you would, because we are already seeing some could be red flags, but it could be some missed opportunities. A lot of misconceptions. A lot of things are counterintuitive. So don't only rely on your intuition or on your knowledge in other fields. Just be careful. It's always better to test your ideas out, or test your to make sure you're not learning by mistake, like we all do. We will continue to do, but if we can reduce that risk, that's better for everyone, including yourself.
Yeah, perfect. Well, I really appreciate you coming on. So if you're interested in IP, please get in touch with Andre here. And thanks again for coming on. Really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you. Let's review some key takeaways from my chat with Andre. Number 1, IP is for every sector. No matter your industry, if you have an idea, you should have a conversation around intellectual property. This includes considerations around copyright, trademarks, patents, and much more. Number 2, connect early and frequently. There are a lot of rules around intellectual property. You need to understand these rules to better compete in the market. You want to know as much or more than your competitors. To do so, reach out to the experts early and often. Number 3, minimize risk. When it comes to IP, don't rely on your intuition. It's better to test your ideas and minimize risk where possible. The Canadian Intellectual Property Office provides their IP education services free of charge to help you reduce risk where possible. To learn more about IP and to connect with Andre, visit www.canada.ca/IP-advisors. And thanks for joining us for another season of Best in the Biz. Find full episodes at cna.nl.ca/bestinthebiz. We're always looking for new guests. So if you're an interested entrepreneur or service provider who's interested in being on the show, shoot us an email.